Greetings. Hi, I'm Raj here. I'm a high school teacher of computer science in New Delhi, India. Today we will be learning about float division and modulus operators in Python. These two are very important as they lead to a lot of confusion while especially working with negative values. So, moving to my next slide. Now, if you look at these two operators, float division and modulus operator, these are the four possible cases that can come across. One, when you have the numerator positive and the denominator positive. Here, uh, here if we have the numerator positive while the denominator is negative. Here, in this case, the numerator is negative while the denominator is positive. And in this case, you have both the numerator and denominator is negative. These are the four possible cases. And before we go to this, first, which is basic, I know each one of you must have the knowledge of division. Here, if you see, these are two slashes. So this refers to float division in Python. But if you take only one slash, then this is division. And if I take an example as 10 divide by 3, that is single slash, so what do you get? You get 3.333 in Python, and after point you have uh, up to 16 places of digits after decimal point. That is the accuracy which you get in Python. So for example, if I assume the number is 3.33, right? This is your division. Now coming to float division, when it is double divide, there are three ways of looking into it. The first, I'll talk about it in terms of remainder and quotient. So 10 float division 3, you will get the quotient. That is 3 3s are 10. 3 is your quotient, right? But if you take the remainder is the modulus operator. So 10 again remainder, this is the percentage sign, this 10 percentage 3, then the modulus is what? 3 3s are 9 and the remainder is 1. So 1 is the answer. Now the second way of looking into it is 10 float division 3, right? Double divide 3. What do you get? 3.333. Now you need to identify the smallest integer which is closest to 3.333. The smallest integer which is closest to 3.333 is 3. So this will be your answer, right? And the modulus, you already know, the modulus is the quotient. So I'll not come to the modulus because once you know the float division very clearly, automatically the modulus is easier to understand. Okay, but the problem arises when it is a combination of positive negative numbers. Okay, there it becomes little difficult to understand. But before I go further to understand this diagrammatically, if we talk about Python, right? Python float division, there is a protocol of value. How do you get the value? Now, if it is suppose minus 10 by 3, okay, minus 10 double divide 3, that is the float division. So what do you get? If you do it mathematically, you will get minus 3.33, something like that. Okay, so minus 3.33, again, which is the lower integer, okay, closest to minus 3.33. Is it minus 3 or minus 4? So here, when it is negative, it is minus 4, remember, because minus 4 is just less than minus 3.33. The smallest integer which is less than minus 3.33. It is not minus 3 because minus 3 is greater than minus 3.33. So the answer will be minus 4. Okay, so whether it is minus 10 by 3 or it is 10 by minus 3, okay, the answer is minus you know, by looking into it, you'll say that it is minus 4. But now we need to be very clear with the concept, because sometimes in Python it gives a value which becomes very difficult for you to digest, okay, at one shot. So to understand this, my video is actually, you need to go through the video to understand this in detail, right? Though this is my main objective. So the first case, I'll be taking the first case, right? So let us go to my first case. Now 10 float division 3, right? So this is my number line. You can see my number line, and this is your 10. This is your 10. Now 3, it is float division 3. That means we start from here. So 3 divisions, I'm going to the positive side. Why? Now 3 has to be multiplied by what to get a value which is just less than 10. This is what I need to find out. So this is one time, then the second time, then this is the third time. See, I'm going into the number line, and I have reached a value which is just less than 10, which is 9. If you look at the table also, so 3 into 0 is 0, 3 into 1 is 3, 3 into 2 is 6, 3 into 3 is 9, right? I am talking about this. 3 into 3 is 9. So if I do 3 into 4, it becomes 12. 12 is again greater than 10. So I will not go till 12. I will stop here when it is 9, right? So what is the value? The answer is here 3. So 10 float division 3 is 3. Now how do I get the remainder? That is the modulus. 10 modulus 3. Now you can look at it in two different perspectives. The first is, okay, so how much is added to 9 to get 10? How much is added to 9 to get 10? 1. So here it is 1. The other way of looking into is how much is subtracted from 10 to get 9. Okay, so it can be two ways. So 10 minus 9 is 1, or 9 plus 1 is 10. So the answer is 1. So I hope this is clear. Now let us move to our next case. Now here in this case, the numerator is negative and the denominator is positive. Okay, this is minus 10 float division 3. Now on the number line, you need to locate minus 10. Where is minus 10? This is your minus 10, right? Now with 3, we need to multiply. Okay, 3 into 0 is what? 0. 3 into minus 1 is minus 3. Okay, I'll take the laser. So this is your, okay, 3 into minus 1 is 3, minus 3. Minus 2, it is minus 6. Minus 3 is minus 9. If you need to, if you see from here, so this is the, you look at this, then it is minus 6, right? Then again, if I do minus 3 into 3, it is minus 9. So I come here. Now you need to tell me, is minus 9 is less than minus 10? I hope not, right? Minus 9 is greater than minus 10. So again, I need to go for my next value, that is 3 into minus 4, that is one more. And here obviously it is minus 12. If I write it here, this is minus 12. Okay, so minus 12, I need to stop here. Here I need to stop, right? So what is the answer? Minus 3 into 3 into minus 4 is minus 12. So the answer here is minus 4. Minus 4. Now I reach minus 12. Now what will be the modulus? Again, the modulus is same, the way I have explained you in the last slide. Now this is your minus 10 is the actual dividend. Okay, to reach minus 10, what has to be added to minus 12, right? This is one. Or what has to be subtracted from minus 10 to get minus 12. So if I do that, minus 10, then what has to be subtracted from minus 10, okay, to get the value? So how will you do it? So minus 10, then what has to be subtracted? So this is minus 12 and then plus 2, right? If I do minus 12 plus 2, I'll get minus 10. So the answer is 2. So the answer is, so the other way is, what has to be, means minus 10, then subtract this minus 12, you will get 2. Minus 10 minus of minus 12, I'll get 2. So it can be two ways. What has to be added on minus 12 to get minus 10, or what has to be subtracted from minus 10 to get minus 12. So two ways you can look into it. Next, we go to our next slide. Okay, so next slide is, again, if you look at it, we have the denominator is negative while the numerator is positive. Okay, now it is 10 float division minus 3, and this side 10 modulus minus 3. Okay, so now we have the denominator as negative. We will do the same thing. Now 10 is where? 10 is here. Okay, I just mark 10 so that it becomes easy for you. Now we have minus 3, right? Now minus 3 has to be multiplied with what, right? So here, if you look at the denominator, it is negative. In the last slide, the denominator was positive, but since it is negative, so basically we have these as minus. Remember, these are all minus. So minus 3 into what? You will get a value. Now remember, when the denominator was positive, I was going to a smaller value than the dividend. Okay, so I was stopping at the smaller value, just less than the 10. But here in this case, I will go a just bigger value than 10. See, this is the difference here. So please mark it, it's very important. So minus 3 into 0, no. Minus 3, no. Minus 6. So minus 3 into minus 4 is 12. So I'll stop here. So this is the place I'll stop. Means suppose here it is 12. Okay, I'll stop here. Right? So this is the way I'm going forward. That means from here I'm going this way, this, third, and then I have the fourth one. Right? So I have come to 12. Now, how do I get the value? 10 minus 12. Okay? So 10 minus 12 will be the modulus, while this minus 4 will be our float division. So I can write here minus 4, and here will be the difference, that is 10 minus 12 is minus 2. So this is the answer, right? So I hope this is clear. The most important thing which you need to remember here is, if the denominator is negative, we are reversing the concept. Okay, we are stopping at a value which is just greater than the numerator or the dividend, that is 10. We are stopping here. So this is the difference here when the denominator is negative, right? Now moving on to my next slide. Now here we see both are negative, right? Both are negative. Now how do I understand here? Now what is my value? Minus 10. Minus 10 is here, remember. This is minus 10. Now with minus 3, we need to multiply. So minus 3, if we multiply 0, I get 0, then 1, it is minus 3, 2, minus 6, 3, minus 9. Again here we need to stop at a value which is not lesser than minus 10, but just bigger than minus 10. Now it is minus 3 into 3 is minus 9. So we stop here. We stop here, right? So what is that value? 3. So here it is 3, right? Now how do I get the modulus? Simple, you need to just subtract minus 9 from minus 10. So minus 10 minus of minus 9, that is minus 10 plus 9, that is minus 1. So this is your answer, minus 1. So I go to my next slide. So this is your formula. If you are using the formula to get the answer, you can use this formula. Okay. But if you want to understand with the help of diagram, and I have explained, you can see it again and again, you can understand. Children, one important thing, suppose P float division Q here, suppose we have number like this, which is completely divisible. For example, 8 float division 4, right? 8 float division 4, then how do we go about it? So for the number line, you have to, if the denominator is positive, you have to reach a number which is less than equal to the dividend. Okay, so here it is less than equal to. If it is divisible, then less than equal to. So how will I reach? Is 8 float division 4. So 4 2s are 8. So we reach till 8. So 2 will be the answer for the float division. While if we do the modulus, so obviously if 8 is divisible by 4, the remainder will be 0. So if it is completely divisible, then you have to go till the, till that number. So if the denominator is negative, then we go, how does that protocol defines? Greater than equal to the dividend. And if the denominator is positive, then less than equal to the dividend. Till there I have to go, right? So this is something in addition. If P float division Q, where Q is dividing P completely, this is the situation. Okay, otherwise with the formula which I have given here, using this formula you can find out the bigger numbers calculation, where it is very difficult to draw the number line and all to find out the answer. Otherwise, if the numbers are small, so you can visualize the number line and get the answer instantly, instead of going for the Python shell, ideally, where you need to type and get the answer. Okay, learners, I hope you have understood this concept. This is very important, and I have seen in a career, because I have been teaching for 23 years, and a lot of people have confusion in getting the values, correct values, and especially when they use negative numbers. Okay, children, thank you very much. Happy learning. So goodbye till we meet in the next video. Thank you.